You're watching No Time to Die, the show where I take ultra fast recipes on YouTube and I recreate them to see how long they actually take to make. In this video, we're making a recipe by pro home cooks, aka amateur home cooks, because he claims that we can make this in less than 15 minutes, and I think that's cap. One, you need a pressure cooker just to make some rice. This thing takes forever to get up to pressure, and you have to wash the rice multiple times, and you gotta prep the vegetables, and you gotta do this and that and the other thing. I don't think it's gonna be achievable in 15, and he even claims you could do it in less than 15. And so, if I don't make this in less than 15 minutes, this pressure cooker will explode and kill me. We've got 15 minutes on the clock to make this recipe, and if I can't do it in that time, I just have to eat whatever is ready at that moment. So the first step to making this recipe is to get the rice going. So we're gonna connect the pressure cooker to the outlet. I already pre-washed my rice off cam because God knows if I washed it on cam, I wouldn't hit that 15-minute target. Oh God, okay. I mean, this is so light. I'm so buff and manly and swag. This is nothing to me. It already took me 30 seconds just to get that going, but we're gonna slice up some tofu into 1/4-inch pieces. Then we're gonna get that in a skillet. Then we're gonna work on our broccoli. It's all coming together, except it's not, but it'll be fine, I think. Drink that. Is wet as fuck. No, it sounds good, sounds good. We're down to 12 minutes. It's really coming down. I don't want to eat raw tofu or raw broccoli, so I'm really trying to move fast here. Got the salt on the tofu. Gonna get some pepper on there. All right, next step is to get it on the pan. I did have the pan preheating in the background. I cheated a little bit. Now I'm gonna slice up my broccoli, which I did wash off cam. Once again, to give me the edge here. I'm already at 10 minutes and we're not even halfway through the recipe, so I don't know how this is gonna end up. I hope I don't end up eating raw broccoli, but we will see. All right, the broccoli is mostly prepped. He also like slices these and adds it to the stir fry. I'm not gonna do that, I don't have time for that. So I'm gonna move on to getting the broccoli into a little saucepan with boiling water. We're gonna parboil it for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get it into the pan with the tofu. Next, I'm gonna move on to getting 2 cloves of garlic, and then I'm gonna peel some ginger. Garlic's done. Now I'm gonna try to scrape this ginger off with a spoon. But looking at the timer, we've got 5 minutes left to cook everything. The pressure cooker isn't even up to pressure yet. And he claims you only needed to have it going for 4 minutes. So unless that thing is done in the next 5, pro home cooks might actually just be a pro home cook. So there are 2.5 minutes left in the recipe. The pressure cooker actually just finished ahead of time, so I guess he wasn't capping in that regard, but I'm not even halfway done with the tofu and broccoli. I need to measure out the seasonings, the condiments in the meantime, so I'm gonna do that right now, and we have 2.5 minutes left on the clock, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it. My tofu is definitely undercooked, 100%. But I'm scrambling, I'm trying to get it in time, so I'm gonna measure out a 1/4 cup of chicken stock and various tablespoons of different things like Shaoxing wine, hoisin sauce, honey, soy sauce, toasted sesame oil. Man, I love cooking with wine. I mean, some of it even gets in the food. Oh, I don't have time for this. So, as you can hear, the timer just went off. We just ran out of time, and I'm pretty sure the broccoli and tofu are still raw in the background. They're not seasoned. I know I said I would eat whatever I had at the moment it was done, but I'm starting to really regret that. I mean, I could take a little bit off to the side just to try it, but I know it's gonna be a bad time. Sesame oil going in. And lastly, I'm just gonna add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch so this will all come together in the pan, nice and thick. It should already be in the pan, mind you, so I'm about to eat some raw broccoli and tofu. Both because of user error and because there's no shot you get this in 15 minutes. There's no shot. He says you could do it in less than 15. So if somebody can do it, please make a video of yourself doing it. I would love to see that. So as promised, I'm gonna eat what I had whenever the timer goes off. So here's just like some plain unseasoned broccoli and tofu. That's all I had in the pan. Bon appetit. All right, thankfully, the broccoli is not raw. The broccoli is pretty nice. The tofu also tastes fine. I'm gonna add all of this to the pan, the sauce mixture and the aromatic, and hopefully this dish will come together. And so far we are 3 minutes over our time. Bro said less than 15 minutes. No shot. tried so hard, and in the end, it didn't even matter because this took over 15 minutes. No shot I would have done it in less than 15. I'm gonna get my tasting bandana on, decide whether this is a worthy dish, and critically think up of a score to give this one. So without further ado, let's try this shit. So while it was obviously cap and unreasonable to assume that you could do this in under 15 minutes, I think for something that's made in under 30, it's not terrible. If I had to give this a score, I'd probably give it 19.2 out of 30 Chef John's. Nothing to write home about, all right? Too much with the prep work, and it's too fast for its own good. I think it's just like kind of lost in the sauce, which there wasn't enough of, and everything was just kind of bland anyway. This wasn't my recipe though. This was by Pro Home Cooks. And if I got this at a restaurant, I probably would be very disappointed, but for something I made in under 15 minutes, it's really fun. So with all that said, I'd like to thank my patrons because they give me money and I really appreciate that. Thank you to She Shows, thank you to Max again, and thank you to everybody on the fridge. If you too would like to get on the fridge or just support the show in general, the link to the Patreon is in the pinned comment below. I guess I'm gonna take a couple more bites out of this. We'll see.